Is it flu season or is it stress season? In this episode, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about also why sometimes one person is getting sick when other people aren't. Hi, I'm Jenna Quinton, founder of Adjust Your Media and host of What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of Innate podcast. And in this episode, we're really going to talk about why nervous system regulation is foundational to good health and also some other great things that you can do. So today on What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of Innate, I have Dr. Anita Mihlon from New Jersey. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, everyone.
I'm excited to talk to you because you have some different experiences. First off, though, do you have people who come into your office and say, does chiropractic treat this or that? And what do you answer?
So lots of folks come in asking those questions. That may not be their initial question because most folks come in because of what they believe we do, which is neck, back pain. But once we get an opportunity to tell them the chiropractic story, then they're like, do you help people with vertigo? Do you help older people with balance issues? What does chiropractic do for people with blood pressure? Things like that. So it leads down the path of that once they understand a little bit of the power of the human body and its healing abilities.
Awesome. Yes. So I know that you have some great stories. You have gone to Panama, and I'm sure you have some great stories there. So can you tell us some of the ways you've seen chiropractic has improved people's lives?
Well, I've been to Panama many times, and on our mission work, we don't really have language to help us share the chiropractic story with the folks that we serve. We go there and serve from our hearts. But I can tell you that we see amazing healings happen in the course of the few days to a week that we're actually in these locations where we do what we do best, which is give a chiropractic adjustment and allow innate potential to express and their bodies heal. And we've had people get their hearing restored in a deaf school. I've seen a woman with a huge goiter who was about to have surgical intervention. 2 days later, her goiter was about a third of the size of it. And nothing different other than rendering a chiropractic adjustment to allow her body to start the healing process. So those are the kind of things that we may not necessarily see every day in our practice. I don't think anybody does, but you can miss an opportunity if you're just focused on what Joe Public thinks chiropractic does, which is neck and back pain. And we do a great job with those things. So I don't want to exclude those folks because we help lots of folks like that.
Yeah. So you said innate potential. What does that mean if somebody's like, what innate potential? Do I have that?
Everybody has innate potential. Every living thing has this thing inside of us, this special something that expresses through our bodies to allow our bodies to heal. So the analogy I use is when you cut your finger, whether you put a Band-Aid on it or not, or back in the old days, you put mercurochrome on it, remember that orange stuff, or not, doesn't matter. It's always going to heal. And the healing time is dependent upon how your body's expressing its life potential. So sometimes we can get a paper cut and it seems to go away overnight. Other times we squeeze that lemon 3 days later and it's still there. So it all relates to the body's inner wisdom that's expressed via the brain and the spinal cord, allowing our body to do its job, which is heal and adapt.
Yeah. So I think some people can sometimes say, okay, you don't understand, like my child is always getting sick. Like their innate potential doesn't seem to be kicking in. Like they're always sick. They're having these issues. They don't focus well at school. They just have a lot of things going on. What do you say when someone is like, it doesn't seem like their body knows how to heal?
I typically agree with them. And then we dive in a little bit deeper about what is their vaccination history? What is their medication history? How many sicknesses have they had? And how many rounds of antibiotics have they done? Are they picky eaters? All of those things. And then, of course, I have a family checkup policy that's extremely crazy affordable. So let's get them in. Let's check them out and see exactly why their body's not healing and working the way it's designed to.
Yeah, I see that because I have 4 kids. So I think that sometimes people are like, oh, well, if one of them catches something, everybody's going to get sick. And we see that in big families where it's just like either everybody gets sick or sometimes it's like, why did just this one person get sick? We talk about this in chiropractic different times. Kind of that germ theory of is everybody going to get sick, or why do we sometimes have one person who is just always getting hammered?
It's a great question. And it does come up in large families where I take care of families and one kid is sickly all the time and the other kid is not. Yet same food, same household, same environment, same. What I share with them is, first and foremost, let's talk about the birth process. What was that like for each child? Was it different? Maybe in utero, there were stresses that one child had that the other child didn't have. And we don't know because we didn't really dive in and explore it. And then we find clinically that the more medication use that they use with antibiotics, the more frequent sicknesses those children have. So those are starting points. I'm not anti-medicine. I just don't think kids should have to take a ton of medications to allow them to function. And most childhood symptoms are self-resolving, really.
Yeah, I definitely see that between my kids as well. Like you said, self-resolving. I'm thinking about a year ago, my 9-year-old got a fever, and I was like, okay, like measured. I was like, oh, you've got a good fever cooking there, and then let him rest, let it do its thing. But then it was like, okay, we're gonna need to get this checked on because he was just struggling. And my chiropractor was out of town. And so I was like, let's just see what we can do to help his body, support his body a little bit more. And took him to another chiropractor, a local one. And boy, that child got adjusted and then was like, I'm going to throw up. And it threw up in a trash can right there. And then went home and he slept for like 3 hours and he woke up, no more fever.
Amazing.
Amazing.
It is amazing. And when I was raising my kid, one of the things the teachers used to say to me all the time, I don't understand. He comes in and he's coughing his head off all day and the next day he's fine. What are you doing? He never misses school. And I say, well, I just do chiropractic. Sometimes I adjust him 2 and 3 times a day because he doesn't hold his adjustment because his body is crashing. I boost him up with lots of supplements, lots of rest, and coughing during the day is completely fine. So I don't suppress it. And the body does its job every single time.
Yeah, I think that is such an important thing for parents to understand, or even anyone, as we come back to this idea of trusting the body and supporting the body. That's a very foreign idea in a lot of households where it's like, oh, no, something's wrong.
Right. Yeah. I see a gamut of ages from birth to almost death. And my seniors that take the least amount of meds, have the least amount of sickness, are the most vital seniors I've ever met, less hospitalizations, all of those things. And one of the key components outside of them getting adjusted on a regular basis is the fact that they don't utilize a lot of medications. They have not and don't. And those that are on a list of things seem to succumb way more often to whatever's going around. And why is it that some people succumb and others don't? I'm exposed to these people because I tell them, as long as you're not puking, you're welcome in my office.
Yeah.
I do have a puke rule. I have bad gag reflex, can't do it. But come in, let's tune you up. And why don't I get sick?
Yes.
Same reason. My body works the way it's designed to. I get my spine and nervous system checked at least every week. And that's what allows me to be as healthy as a horse, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. I think also, as we're talking about all of this, some people are still going to say, okay, I just don't see how moving bones helps in all of these ways. Can you explain that a little bit?
And that's a fair question. It's not just about moving bones. It's about relieving pressure on the nervous system, which is the lifeline to the body. When the lifeline is choked, the things at the end of that lifeline are not going to work fully, just like a hose with a brick leaning against it. Eventually, the water stops trickling through. Well, life energy flows via our nervous system. And my job as a chiropractor is quite simple. Locate those interferences, correct them when it's possible. That will restore that life energy and your body comes alive again.
Yeah. So you said also a phrase, holding an adjustment. So if you have been checked and adjusted by a chiropractor, why is it not just like a one-time, like, oh, if we could go around the world and check everybody once, adjust everybody once, why does that not really work? Why does that not fix everybody?
Stress. Mental, physical, and chemical stressors are everywhere. And depending upon your life, one side leans more to the other than the other. And for those reasons, we need to get checked on a regular basis.
I love that because it is true. We just get through with back to school and
It's
those
Halloween
stressors. And now it's
candy. I have it
Halloween.
in my office. I'm eating it. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow.
Yeah.
Once all the candy's gone, I'm going to be crashing, but I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm not one of those, oh, you can't have,
Yeah.
some of my patients call me a tree hugger. It's funny. I still enjoy the luxuries of life, and I like sugar. It is white death, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even just the things like that where it's going to be colder, we're going to have stressors that we can't
Mm-hmm.
really change. My kids, the two littlest, were trying to see how many coats they could put on this morning because it hit freezing
Okay.
here. And I was like, but there's all of these things, like you said, mental stress, emotional stress. We can't just always remove it from our lives. But I love what you do with chiropractic, where you're increasing our margin of tolerance, increasing our margin of
Yep.
adaptability and flexibility. That I might be busy, but I don't have to just say, we're not doing any activities, we're not having any
Right.
sugar. Like we can
Right.
still enjoy some of these things, but we can adapt better to them.
I admire people who can go without sugar. I wish I was one of them because I know how bad it is. I just can't. So I adapt accordingly. And chiropractic's not a panacea of the one all be all. You have to do other things. You have to have a good mindset. You have to have a good, healthy environment, a positive outlook. You have to nutritionally feed your body with really good quality stuff. And you got to move your body on a regular basis. And you got to hydrate. Depending on who you listen to, our body's made up of 65 to 75% water. If you're made up of that much water, you've got to add to it. So you've got to take it in. All those things are needed in order for you to be at your best.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like all of us have one or more of those categories where we can just kind of level up a little bit. I know I definitely need to move. Sometimes when I look at how many steps I've taken in a day and my step counter
Yeah.
is like, you haven't even hit 1,000, sweetie. Like, you gotta
Get a
move.
puppy. That'll
Yeah.
change.
Oh boy, I have enough life forms. Don't
Okay.
tempt me. But it is true. Like we do have two dogs. They're just a little bit older, but it's like, yeah, pop a leash on and they'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it.
Absolutely.
My older dog especially, I've called him my external nervous system, like an external hard drive. And I just tap into his calm nervous system and
Ugh.
just trit trot. It's good stuff. But yeah, we all have an area, like you said, if we just going into the end of the year picked one area where we leveled up a little bit, like you said, water.
Mm.
Maybe we just get that flask and hydro bottle, whatever, and fill it up a couple more times.
You know what? The easiest way, I've been using this since my dad had been hospitalized about a year and a half ago because of dehydration, which we always yell at him about it. So now I tell all my patients, there's free apps out there. They're water apps. And they give you a reminder every 2 hours. Set it every 2 hours starting at 8 a.m. The other key to water, it's really simple. Don't get up and use the restroom. Don't get out of your bed until you chug 16 ounces before you get up. I don't care how bad you got to go. Chug it, then go. So you
Yeah.
already got 16 ounces before you even rose from the bed. How awesome is that?
Wonderful. Yeah. There are so many things. And just like you talk about chiropractic just being this foundation for your nervous system, that all of these other things can build on, that when your nervous
Exactly.
system can regulate itself, you can absorb your nutrition better, you feel good, and you can move and have range of motion to exercise better. So getting that foundational nervous system check in is just foundational.
You bet. It's the most
Awesome.
important thing you can do because all that external stuff won't process well if your nervous system's not free.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing all of this. And I'm going to put some different resources in the show notes for people to check out. And if they are
Awesome.
in New Jersey or around, they should definitely go see you.
Holla.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thanks, Jenna.